Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia. You can find me on Instagram at Divinity Inspires, but I am here on a mission as a tarot reader, spirit guide channel, astrologer, helping facilitate what is meant to be. I am helping individuals align with their inner power and navigate their life with a greater sense of ease. And without further ado, thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe, and let's get into today's content. So today we are diving deeply into the full moon in Scorpio on May 1st, the spirit medicine of what is this full moon in Scorpio offering us. So this is not a surface level moon. This is deeply transformative energy that invites us to understand our relationship with deeper truth, understanding where we've repressed some form of emotional release, specifically around illusions related to the darker parts of ourselves, or even fears of feeling not worthy, or even like a monster, just things that really get caught in the unconscious behaviors in our souls. The parts of us that say, I'm not that, I don't want to experience that, that's not who I am. Really understanding the medicine that when those shadow components come up, it's a time of transformation by acknowledgement and processing of those feelings. That's actually what the energy of power is the ability to transmute a dense emotion into a lighter frequency and alchemize what was once a pain or a poison into a greater medicine. The symbolism of the scorpion is reflected in its ability to both sting as a toxin, but to create an antidote from the same effect. When we think of the medicine of honesty, we consider that our words, our behaviors, our realm of how we think and process our thoughts and ideas can actually have a physical impact into the body. I just did a reading for a client who is going through processing multiple miscarriages and understanding her connection with how she heals and creates safety in her bloodline. And the core epigenetic point we were looking at between her familial line was an emphasis on the fear that the body was not safe and that there was something inherently wrong with the body. And this had been passed through the familial line. The transformation that we were looking here was to understand the myth's truths. And as we got deeper into the session, the discussion surrounding having been misdiagnosed regarding a doctor to her mother, instilling the exact words of, "You are a monster," or "Your daughter may never be right." Those components can be passed down as fears that move through our bodies and our psychology. Whether it is spoken to us or not, the fear or dynamics surrounding our bodies and our vessels can absorb these types of fears, anxieties, or stresses from our environments even before we are born. And with that emphasis, which again, if you have read the book It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wolin, there is a deeper focus on how we process emotion and energy that moves through the body. This full moon gives us a moment to ask ourselves, what are my feelings trying to show me? Have I felt this before? And why is it coming up now? How can we meet our shadows with curiosity instead of judgment? Even repeating some of these core illusions or fears, at times they require us to acknowledge, where is it that I was not accepting myself for all that I am? Or judging myself for experiencing an emotion that is not the truth of who I am, but creates a narrative that is painful. There's moments where to free ourselves, we must acknowledge that on some level, our body or a feeling of misjudging our power or a sense of self-worth has created narratives that then create a tightness or a knot in our stomach or our chest. This body has a very high function towards systematic emotional processing. This full moon has an emphasis on how does your body release these emotions? How do you feel them move through your vessel? How do you become aware of how to investigate that emotion and where it's been stored at different points in your body as patterns of non-receptivity, patterns of tightness, patterns of anger, patterns of really contracting ourselves into hypervigilance surrounding what we are afraid to experience. And I share this again, not as a medical intuitive, but as someone processing emotions on a very real level as we understand our experience to life. This full moon actually helps us illuminate different ways of processing, different ways of seeing ourselves, taking illusion, taking mistruths, and putting the power back into ourselves. When we're looking at love relationships, identifying where is it that you're investigating what your exchanges feel like when we're talking about emotional depth, deeper transparency of why we think the way we do, what memories affect how we're able to love, how we're able to receive love, receive safety in our bodies. This experience, which brings us to understanding how do we talk about the grounded emotional work? How do we understand that we do not need to force ourselves into a process? This full moon is, of course, helpful to journal and focus on where are you feeling something without a filter, letting it be raw, letting consciousness and conscious patterns move through your body by stretching, by walking, simply breathing through and identifying where those stored emotions are. My emphasis today is focusing on how do we create an environment that is conducive to our spiritual body and releasing. So over the last few days, I've been working on planting different things within the garden, whether this is hanging plants, establishing new ones, propagating, watering, really creating an environment that allows a new beginning to form. I'd highly recommend for this full moon finding different elements such as earth-based plants that allow us to ground ourselves. Not air plants, but more so different components that say put yourself in your body, go on the walk. Go hike, put yourself into the earth, slow down. Give yourself a space to feel what is coming up and how you can give yourself the moment of gratitude to experience what it's like, to be thankful for what you're experiencing, even if it is heavy or dense. It is you being in your physical body as a human and allowing what comes through to be real, to be honest. And it's imperfect. It's not always beautiful to the outside world, but it is beautiful and a sacred experience to you in the process of transformation. I'd recommend for those working on these components of emotional healing and processing, take time to really study in your relationships. What is it that you're transforming about yourself? What type of vulnerability allows safety to come forward? If you're interested in learning more about your personal astrology and developing your own intuitive gifts, which are all natural to each and every one of us, I will be teaching and hosting my private sessions at the Chakra Shack as well as Laguna Hills, the Awakenings Consciousness Center. My classes will start May 22nd and end August 7th. We will have another cohort after that. This is a series of 6 classes. They are individual one-offs, which will be $40 each. And each class is going to emphasize a focus on different components of our spiritual bodies, whether that's our nervous system, working with our astrology, understanding ancestral traumas, working through creating strength in our intuitive gifts using tarot, using psychic channeling, connecting with our spirit guides, really activating our own abilities as we go through the process of community connection. If you're interested in more, you can follow me at Divinity Inspires on Instagram, and I have a lot of updates for my classes there, as well as different components of what I'm teaching and astrological updates. But I appreciate you staying with me here, and if you like and want to learn more, you are always welcome to book a private session through my own website at www.divinityinspires.com for my Zoom and my online sessions as well. And I look forward to seeing you. And if you like this video, please comment below. It lets me know that you guys are really appreciating and understanding what you need. And it also helps me support my clients as well. So thank you for being here today, and I'm wishing you the best.